Hello and welcome to another episode of Utopia Restorations. I'm Will and this is our new project, a Series 3 109 ex-military fitted for radio. So what I'm going So I can hear you already. Series 3 109 ex-military, that sounds fairly familiar. Yeah, because it is. We've got two. This one, you will have seen in my previous videos. This is Aloy, my Series 3, which is my coffin, I'll be honest. Never selling it, and it's coming with me to the grave. She does look a little worse for wear at the moment, as she does need some work and needs for some TLC. But there's some very exciting news on that with our partners, and we'll be back on the road soon. But I'm going to tell you about this one. So yeah, why another ex-military 109? Well, I love the ex-militaries. I think the fronts look absolutely amazing. The chassis are slightly higher as they've got bigger drop arms, so they sit a bit better, and they've always got fantastic patina. Personally, in my view, militaries are one of the best looked after series you can now get, because the argument was previously they'd been messed around in the military, other things had been done to them and they've been used and used heavily, and then they got released in civilians, so they were cheap. However, as they've got older, it's been in the military, it's been looked after for the beginning part of its life, and then typically the people that would purchase it would look after it in the second part of its life. Difference being with civilian ones, you don't know the whole lot of history now. They're 40 years. Has it always been maintained and looked after? But yes, this one has been looked after, and that's again one of the reasons why I got it and why I think it will make a fantastic project. So let's start with the outside. As you can see, it's clearly got some patina. So two of the owners that have previously had it, I actually know them through Instagram. So two different sort of stories with it. It started to be stripped, ready for paint. As you can see, some sanding has happened, and then the other side also got some paint stripper on it. So it is patinaed because it is an old ex-military. When they get bored, get a sponge or a brush out and paint it. So as you can see, very patinaed, but as you can also see, some of it is flaking off. However, I kind of like it. I think it's got that ratty, ropey sort of look to it. It's a bit different. It does have some areas of full paint, and it's not going to rust. So as long as the important areas are covered, so maybe doing some painting along here just to stop that surface rust that's coming through. The rest of it, I kind of like it. The cappings have been taken off. That's because they were going to be sent off to be re-galvanized by the previous owner. However, I think I may leave it. I quite like the sort of the old galvanized look. As long as they're not rusting and not damaged, that's okay with me. As you can see in the back, it's got quite a few spares with it. Tyres, canvases, cappings, full nut and bolt kit, exhausts, everything that you need. At the moment, I'm not going to pull it out. I am keeping it in because the truck's being moved around as things are happening in the workshop. So it's very easy just to keep it inside and then move the truck. On the exterior as well, you do have some cool things like the Union Jack and some old previous markings, which again, if I was to strip it all down, you would lose. You could replace them, but you know that they wouldn't be the same. And you can see here all the multiple layers. You can see at some point, it's not a military green, that's quite a bronzy green. So interested to see, I don't know when it was painted that, but you can also see the sort of ex-military colours. You've got the NATO coming through, the black, and everything like that. Yeah, all in all, chassis is in very good condition. It is actually the original one, and of course, one of the reasons why we love a military, Salisbury on the rear. If you leave the patina, you've of course got some interesting bits as well as I squeeze past. We've got some sort of dents and things, but again, for me with series, as long as they're mechanically sound, it's all part of the age. It's all part of the love of them. And I think this one, where it's sort of the half almost polished alley, half not. See, we've got some door fettling to do there. I think it's worth keeping it just the way it is. Very much enjoying it. So let me take you inside. As we now go inside into the interior, I'll show you some things. So lovely, nice deluxe seats, which look pretty new and in very good condition. So definitely be keeping those in. Unless it gets commissioned for a project and somebody would like some tan deluxe X1 trim seats or the black deluxe X1 trim seats, which again, I think would be very good. We don't have a gear knob, but I can share some exciting news with that. We have partnered with Built by Basil, possibly the most well-known gear knobs in the world, for the very cool skateboard. So he does very cool different designs, such as the skateboard one with multi-layers. We've got a Land Rover one here for the diff lock and the low range. And then we also have a mixture of softwoods and hardwoods. I have one on my MX-5 and they're absolutely stunning. We're currently working together to develop one for a Series 3. If you know about Series 3s with the shims that they have, it is very, very hard to get a gear knob on there. So yes, a fantastic partnership and very excited to be working with Simon Basil. And yeah, they're just absolutely beautiful. There are some other ones out there, but there's just nothing quite like the original, is there? So absolutely thrilled to have Built by Basil on board as one of the Utopia partners. We've now got quite a few and racking up a list. As always, we only ever use the highest quality parts and British made ones. So more of the interior then. Same as usual, got all the old military things. I will be doing a check to make sure that infrareds don't work, because if they do, if you know, the relays can have issues now that they're older. Very cool details down here, such as the old fire extinguisher. I do have that surround. There is a previous repair down here, which we'll look at getting improved. All other than that, all in all, it's pretty sound. If I'm going to leave the exterior, I will be leaving the interior. It will definitely get a clean and wash up, maybe a bit of a go with an oily rag. There is a cracking on the dash. We can get dashes wrapped if you are interested in that, and we'll possibly look to do that for this one. I'm personally thinking for the top, I think a bikini top would look very cool. There's a chap out in LA, whose name escapes me at the moment, who's got one for his 109, and I think it looks fantastic. So we sort of get a bit more of a swooping shape on this one. Only other things to mention on this is that it is no longer a 24 volt, which I know may be a bit of a shame, but actually in practicality is quite a bit better, and I'll explain why. So my Series 3 here, Aloy, is still a 24 volt, very original, and has all of that. It needs a new distributor. Potentially, that's where I think a lot of the issues are coming from with timing. A new one, or a used one, as you can only get those now, for a 24 volt is £400, and that's at a good price. So quite a bit expensive compared to on a 12 volt, where it's going to be about 65 for a fairly decent one. Other than that, there's not really too much else to show you. It's got a load of parts with it that we'll be getting out and going through. It just looks fantastic in the light, and with all its different sort of patina and different colours and new galv bumper. So yeah. So there you have it. When one XML 109 is not enough, let's get two. This one will be available for commission, so if you are interested, please let me know in the comments or drop us a message via Instagram or via our website. As always, I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.